Ha.
Oh boy, Organized Chaos has responded to me. Yay! In fact, he actually responded to me 2 times. Now you're probably thinking that he went over the start of my video in the live stream and then continued responding to my video with his friends, right? Well, no. Both times he went over the start of my video, which is very weird. Like, I really wish this guy went over my whole video, but instead he only went over the start of it twice. But I am still happy that he brought his friends along with him. That means I can make even more friends. Hooray! Now, because I'm doing a commentary on top of a commentary on top of a commentary, if he responds to this video, I'm probably not going to cover it, because at that point, it's going to get really confusing. Anyways, let's get on with Organized Chaos's first response to me.
Let's see. I don't know how long we'll get into this, but I did want to hit on this.
Aw, shucks, you want to hit on me? Aw, well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not interested.
Just a Robot made a video responding to me. Organized Chaos doesn't understand Just a Robot. I think it's interesting. So, like, he has his main channel that is all cap lock, and then his secondary channel, which is properly capitalized. That's not going to be confusing at all. But yeah, he did a terrible race swapping video. It was really bad.
Yeah, I know it's really confusing, and I just love confusing my fans with it. But I personally think that my Cleopatra video was actually pretty good. First thing I noticed about this video is that it has been absolutely ratioed. It has more than 4 times as many dislikes as likes. Like, I haven't even...
Okay, yes. My videos get ratioed often, even though, actually, I'm not even sure if that's the right ratio. Of curiosity, let me actually look up what the actual ratio is. So, Chuds are really insecure and have to ratio stuff, I will say that.
I said it once and I'll say it again. I really like this he does at the end of all his points. But dude, people on both the left and the right get ratioed. Not all of them get ratioed, but a lot of them do. Mostly the bad ones. And you're clearly one of the bad ones.
Alright, so again, showing how, I can actually prove how these downvoting apps do not work. So he's showing plus 57, 230. Now the video did get ratioed. That is 100% true. And I will share it with you here. I can kind of, I don't think there's anything personal here. So here's my YouTube page here. We can hover over it. It's got 58 likes and 104 downvotes. Those are the actual ones. That's not using any sort of app or anything. That is what the actual numbers are.
Okay, I know you said that the apps don't work, but they mostly work. Sure, they're not perfect, but unless I hack into your YouTube channel, I can't see the exact number of your downvotes. My app said that your video got ratioed, and you proved that your video got ratioed. Sure, the ratio is not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Hell, one could make the argument that the YouTube browser extension is actually more accurate with the dislikes than what YouTube shows you. I got a lot of hate comments on my recent Peaches video, and the app says I got 100, but YouTube itself said I got a lot less than that.
So yeah, I mean, these apps are really quite bad and don't report good numbers. So
is it because it didn't get the exact number, therefore it's bad and it does not work? What? Bro, if you want to suggest something else I could try to see the exact number of dislikes underneath your video, then I'm all ears. It has more than 4 times as many dislikes as—
And it also is worth noting, just because it has dislikes doesn't mean it's wrong.
Oh yes, that is indeed true. Sometimes a video that is correct gets disliked bombed. Granted, 90% of the time it does mean it's a bad video, but literally right after I said this point, I bring up how this doesn't prove that his video is bad, and I'm gonna give it a chance. And he just completely ignores what I said. Likes. Like, I haven't even covered this video yet. Now, just because a video has a lot of dislikes, it doesn't mean it's automatically terrible. So, you know what? Let's give it a chance. See what I mean? He unintentionally agreed with my point and then just turned his brain off. This is something Organized Chaos does a lot.
Race swapping any characters, I don't care.
Okay, I know my voice can be grating to some people, but this dude sounds like a gay stereotype.
Wow. So that was just to make fun of my voice. So is he not even gonna go after any of the points I make? Is he just going to go after my voice? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, that's a super reasonable conclusion to come to. My entire over an hour long video on you is just complaining about your voice and nothing else. Like, yeah, I made fun of your voice, but I also said my own voice is pretty grating to a lot of people. I love that he calls me racist so many times throughout his video, but because I made fun of his voice one time, that's what my entire video is about. Like, it's so weird that he just started my video, and he's already assuming that I'm not gonna go over his points. Like, even Vouch isn't as bad faith as this guy.
Wow. Like, if this is the worst they can come at me with, this is, kind of proving me right?
Wait, do you actually think that's the worst I can come at you with? Are you serious? Dude, just look at you. I have so much to work with. And also, I love that because I insulted his voice one time, that somehow proves him right. This is something Organized Chaos does a lot. He says, oh, this person said this, therefore it proves me right. Like, just check out a few of the videos on this guy and you'll see what I mean. It's just so catty.
Okay.
Now I want to make this clear, he's not skipping the first 6 minutes of my video. This is just a snippet of his video, a preview of what's to come. But it's kind of weird that he opens his video with a clip saying he doesn't care. Dude, you're making a video about it, of course you care. And caring is not a problem. A lot of people care about a...
Well, my argument is, about how, in a vacuum, race swapping doesn't matter.
Oh yes, I am fully aware of what your argument is. It's a terrible argument, and I get into that later on in the video. But right now, I'm talking about you saying that you don't care, even though you made a video on it. Organized Chaos has been doing this for years. He seems to believe that admitting that you care about something means you lose the argument. Organized Chaos, it's fine to care. You can care about stuff. And if you're making a video about something, you probably care about it. I'll give you an example of not caring about something. Let me look up a random movie here. Coneheads. There's a good example. I've never cared about that movie. I've never seen it. I haven't talked about it. And that's because, well, I don't care about it. Granted, I now care a little about it because I'm using it as an example, but I think you get what I mean.
But because we don't live in a vacuum, it kind of does.
Well, we do live on Earth, which is in space, which is a vacuum, but I get what you mean. But here's the thing, Organized Chaos, I'm talking about race swapping in a historical sense. People who make fan art of, I don't know, Eric Cartman and race swap him, I agree that it doesn't matter. But race swapping a historical figure does matter. You can say, oh, well, in a vacuum it doesn't matter, but I'm not talking about it in a vacuum. I'm talking about it in a historical sense.
You're clipping out that part. Interesting.
Oh, I'm clipping it out? Oh, yeah, I guess I am taking you out of context. Or maybe I'm just going through your video point by point and I'm about to get to that point of yours. Oh, and by the way, he continues my video, sees that clip of mine, and just turns his brain off and ignores what I'm saying once again.
Removing all societal context. I don't care. Get the best person for the job. Awesome. Cool. The problem is, throughout all of history, there has been a massive amount of white people playing characters of color.
All of history? Really, dude? All of history? I think you just mean in the last...
In the last... Well, I mean, in most of history, that happened also as well in theater and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, obviously the history of the medium, bro. Come on.
See what I mean? He was completely wrong about me, and he just ignored what I was saying. But yeah, dude, I would assume that most people were talking about the history of the medium, but you're so dumb that it's hard to tell. I know why you actually use the phrase all of history. It's so you can make the issue sound much bigger than it really is. 100 years. I don't think the Romans were exactly having white actors play African gods or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, probably not, but yeah, we're obviously talking about the length of the medium. That, you know, again, this is just deflection on his part.
Oh, it's deflection? Well, what am I deflecting? And you need to explain this. You can't just roll your eyes and say, it's obvious, dude. Because this is a big problem I've noticed about you. You kind of just say things without explaining your point. All I said was it hasn't been happening throughout all of human history. A point you were wrong about. Now, maybe you meant the history of the medium, but you should have explained that instead of saying all of human history.
Recent example I can think of would be the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. Don't want to slight Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton's a fantastic actress. She's white. Ancient One's not white.
Oh yeah, I complained about that one too. They got both his race and his gender wrong. The reason for this was probably because, well, there's not a lot of Asian actors in America, because there's not a lot of Asian people in America.
I'm kind of surprised he's not going for the actual reason, which was what they didn't want to upset the Chinese audience.
Oh yeah, I was absolutely wrong on this point. I did fix it in the pinned comment. I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Strange, so I didn't know about this, and I got it wrong. But even so, I thank you for correcting me on this point. Thanks, buddy. But even then, I'm still confused on the reasoning for the race swap. Like, I get that the Sorcerer Supreme was Tibetan in the comics, but why couldn't they make him Chinese in the movie? Oh, Jerry, we can't have the Sorcerer Supreme be Tibetan because that will piss off Chinese audiences. Well, it looks like we're going to have to change his race. Oh, I got it. We can have him be Chinese. No, that's stupid. Let's make him a white girl. But notice how Organized Chaos is ignoring the part where I said, oh yeah, I complained about that too. My point where I'm speculating as to why they race swapped the Sorcerer Supreme doesn't have anything to do with the video I'm responding to. So when I complain about a character being whitewashed, he just ignores it. I guess he just doesn't care about whitewashing. Wow, I just can't believe this scumbag. He's such a horrible person for that.
Which is something that I mean, they were fairly open about, and it's something Kevin Feige said he regrets to this day. But yeah, they weren't trying to upset the Chinese audience with that casting, because he is Tibetan.
Well, he can regret it, he still did it, and I'm sure he was open about it, but I didn't know about it. I don't know about everything in general, so they had to go with a white actor, but they picked a white actress. That way, if anyone complained, they would be accused of sexism.
This has been happening throughout history. Okay. I mean, I don't think they did it to block sexism, but yeah.
Block sexism? I don't know what you mean by that, but what's your theory as to why they made the Sorcerer Supreme a woman? I have another theory. They could have done it to get their ESG score up.
And now, it's just kind of getting tilted the other way, just a bit. Yeah, no, his arguments are really bad so far.
Well, if they're so bad, then why haven't you debunked a single one so far? And no, he didn't debunk my argument about the Sorcerer Supreme, because that wasn't an argument towards him. That was just speculation on my part. But yeah, he's just responding to someone in his chat who said my arguments are bad, and he just agrees with it. Organized Chaos agreeing with people in your chat isn't an argument. Yeah, this is something Organized Chaos does a lot. When he doesn't know what to say, he just looks at his chat and agrees with the person in his chat.
Pretty much been going on throughout history. Except the other way.
Well, as I said before, it really hasn't happened throughout history, just in the last 100 to 100...
Yeah, in the history of film media. He is obfuscating hard. This is really a bad response, bro.
I'm obfuscating? Do you even know what that word means? Listen, Organized Chaos, you don't explain your points very well, so I have to do a lot of guesswork on what you actually mean. Personally, I think you did actually mean throughout all of human history, because that's what you said, and you're just backtracking on it now. 150 years. And every single time I've talked about race bending on my channel, I've complained about it going both ways. I wasn't complaining about it when it was happening only one way because, well, A, I wasn't born yet, or B, I wasn't making YouTube videos yet. If I'm saying it's equally bad no matter which way it goes, then I'm not being racist, buddy, I'm being the opposite, because I'm treating people equally.
And that's why you kind of get called racist, because when it's been happening forever, but now it just happens to be happening. Well, that's the thing, and that's the other thing. Like when you complain about race swaps, it's worth noting How specific with the race do you want to get?
About as close as you can, I guess. Like if you have a character who is Asian and they're played by a half Asian, I think that's close enough. By the way, I absolutely love how he ignored my argument where I proved that I was treating people equally, which would make me not racist.
Pista, the cat is Elam. He's a simple tailor.
Oh, well, can you give that cat my number? I could really use a tailor right now.
America famously has no Asians in it, yeah.
Oh my god, he's taking another point from someone in this chat. God, dude, you gotta stop doing that. But, when the fuck did I say that there were no Asians in America? I did say there weren't a lot of Asians in America, which, looking at the statistics, is indeed true. Organized Chaos, if I said I didn't have a lot of apples, would you assume that I didn't have any apples? Wow, that's pretty silly.
So, when you complain about race swappings, like, how specific do you want to get? Because, I mean, they're blowing up over Rachel Ziegler playing Snow White. Let me throw that in there. Rachel Ziegler playing Snow White.
Oh yeah, they're having a brown person play a character whose skin was described as white as snow. That's kind of why her name is Snow White. You get what I'm saying? I would have also complained if they had a blonde girl play Snow White. Oh, and a blonde girl who didn't dye her hair black, because as we all know, Snow White has black hair.
Rachel Ziegler is considered a Hispanic actress. To my understanding, she is about 1/4 Hispanic. I mean, you can tell. Her last name is Ziegler. That's not a Hispanic last name. And they're blowing up over her being cast as fucking Snow White.
I'm gonna take your word that she's 1/4 Hispanic, but honestly, when you have a character whose skin is as white as snow, then you probably should cast someone who's really, really white. Like someone from Ireland or something. Like imagine if there was a character whose skin was described as black as ebony, and they got a half-black guy to play him.
Like, do we want to break down the genetic makeup of these actors and throw a fit over skin tone?
Well, if they don't look like the character they're supposed to be playing, then yes. People will even complain if the hair color is wrong. This has been going on for years.
Do we really want to do that? Do we care to do that? I would argue I don't care to do that. And my argument has always been pretty much, I don't care so much about race changes unless there's some specific character backstory that kind of requires something certain. I kind of don't give a shit.
Oh, you mean like a character's skin being as white as snow? Or Cleopatra having Macedonian Greek heritage? Like Nick Fury was originally white, but I don't care that he's now black because it doesn't change anything fundamentally about his character.
And the fact that Just a Robot made a video complaining about his main thing was the Cleopatra Netflix documentary that was dragged. It was a docudrama. Nobody liked it, and he was complaining that there was a race swap Cleopatra in it, and I don't even know if we know for certain Cleopatra's skin color, and nobody cared.
Okay, if the film was dragged, then people cared about it. Dude, it got sued by the country of Egypt. It had a 1% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I think people cared about it. You saying, I don't care, no one cares, doesn't mean anything. And yeah, in both my video response to you, and in my video about Queen Cleopatra, I explained that we don't know her exact skin color, but we know for sure that she wasn't black. And there's no possible way she was Native American. Personally, I think that would have been worse than making her black. And please, for the love of God, don't say no one cared when the entire country of Egypt cared.
A bit the other way? All of a sudden you're triggered.
I wouldn't say I'm triggered, I'm just complaining about an issue I've been noticing. And ever since I started making YouTube videos, it has been going both ways. And I get called racist because people like you call anyone who disagrees with them racist.
Oh, nice straw man. I never get sick of that one. Gary threw that one at me.
It's a very accurate straw man. You were trying to accuse a black guy of hating his own race because he didn't like Miles Morales.
It's very skilled. Yes, everyone who disagrees with me is a racist. Never mind all the people I disagree with that aren't using racist arguments. I disagree with people like John Campea all the time. I disagree with... There's plenty of people I disagree with.
The fact that you can only think of one example kind of proves my point. You try to call Rags racist because he called a black woman a clown person. Like, where's the racism in that statement? And that person you brought up, did he make an argument about race that you disagreed with? Because just because someone disagrees with you on race doesn't mean they're racist. Anyone who you don't like who talks about race in pretty much any context, you call them racist. Hell, sometimes even when they agree with you on race, you still find a way to call them racist. It's so weird.
I'm sure if I deep dive, I could find a whole bunch of people I disagree with on the regular that aren't giving racist arguments, and I wouldn't call racist. In fact, most of them. But I mainly talk about the ones who are fairly racist because it's an issue on social media.
Yeah, but you call people racist without explaining why they're racist.
It's an issue in nerd culture right now.
The biggest issue with nerd culture right now is people like you. And hygiene, of course.
That sounds super
Oh
cringe.
boy, I can't wait to tear into the new Disney live-action Little Mermaid movie. But before that movie comes out, I want to talk about everyone's favorite topic.
Little Mermaid. I thought we were done. I guess this is 3 months old, but Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid, that huge controversy was like, when that blew up, that was like a year ago. So did you do this when the movie came out?
Yes, I did. You can check the dates for when this movie came out and for when my video came out. They're pretty close together. I wanted to wait for the movie to come out so I could give it a chance. And while it wasn't the worst Disney live-action remake I've ever seen, it was still a Disney live-action remake.
Yes, but I was also getting sick of people complaining about black mermaids. It was obnoxious.
Good for you. I don't care. You asked if I talked about it when the movie came out, and I showed that I did, and that I was going over the whole movie, not just the actress's race.
Even after that, even before that movie came out, I was fucking burnt out on that shit.
Okay, and yeah, I'm sure people in my corner of the internet have complained about The Little Mermaid being black when the trailer came out. But you asked me if I was talking about this when the movie came out, and I showed that I did. If you don't want your questions answered, then don't ask them.
And then when it came out in the trailer that she was playing Ariel, that's when everybody got outraged, even though it was known for years that she'd be playing Ariel.
That's nice and all, but I was still reviewing the movie. If it's announced that the actress for The Little Mermaid is going to be black, I still have to wait for the movie to come out so I can review it. Now, don't get me wrong, I've talked about...
Yes, but you do understand people who would be... I don't know if they're necessarily in your circle, because I don't see you stream with them, but a lot of people who I'm certain are kind of sharing an algorithm with you. A lot of people who share the algorithm with you have been yelling about the Black Mermaid for a while. Now, if you say you don't review it until it's actually come out, that is good. I will give you points for that. But I'm used to people not doing that.
Well, I'm used to a lot of things my critics do as well. But I'm not going to criticize what people they know do. I'm going to criticize what they do. Disney's live-action Snow White before it came out. But the thing is, that video wasn't a review. But the video where I talked about Disney's live-action Little Mermaid was a review.
And 3 women in the thumbnail.
Yeah, 3 women from the 3 main movies I went over the most in that video. I'm gonna be honest here, women just do better in thumbnails than men.
Is black? She's very light black. She could easily pass the paper bag test. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
And I want the paper bag test. What the fuck did he just step into? What? Okay, what is the paper bag test? Okay, we are looking up the paper bag test that he just flowed past real fast.
I put this clip from my video about all the Disney live-action remakes knowing he would respond to it like this. I've seen people twist this point of mine, and I can finally set the record straight in this video.
And also, like, oh, she's very light black. Who cares? Who cares?
Oh, well, probably the same people who cared about her being black, I guess. Bro, just because you claim to not care about something doesn't mean that no one else cares.
Brown paper bag test is a term in African American oral history used to describe a colorist discriminatory practice within the African American community in the 20th century, in which the individual's skin tone is compared to the color of a brown paper bag. The test was determined what privileges an individual could have only with the skin color.
Yeah, back in the day when people used to be really racist, they would only hire black actors and black actresses if they were lighter than a paper bag. I'm so glad I educated more people on this dark, awful time in American history.
He says I'm not racist and then does a racist thing?
Oh, really? Where's the racist thing? I'm looking for it. I sure don't see it. Oh, you're calling me racist because you think I agree with the paper bag test. Well, I don't. I brought that up because as racist as people were back then, they would still let someone like her act. I'm just saying that she's black, but she's not that black.
Just holy shit.
Those are very nice sounds you're making and all, but can you come up with an argument as to how this is racist, please?
Wow. Just his argument is that how she's light black, so it's not a big deal?
No.
Stress, as someone who didn't like that movie, she was phenomenal in it. She fucking nailed that role. I get why she got it. Like,
okay, I see the issue now. You're just making assumptions about my video before you've even seen it. But if you paid attention to what I said I can't wait.
I'm actually just talking about the Little Mermaid controversy and how I thought Halle Bailey did a really good job.
No, you were accusing me of having a problem with the actress's race. And you know that. Stop backtracking. To tear into the Disney live-action Little Mermaid movie. If I'm talking about tearing into this movie, then it will be a pretty short review if I'm just complaining about the actress's race and nothing else. You should try this cool new thing called watching a video before talking about it. I hear all the kids are doing it.
The director was saying, like, she was the best person for the role, and upon watching it, I'm like, she probably fucking was. She nailed it.
I wouldn't say she was the perfect person for the job. There are better actresses than her. Hell, there are better black actresses than her. Personally,
She did a great job with the role. She had an amazing singing voice, which is a huge part of the role.
yeah, Organized Chaos just played that huge section of my video, and that's all he had to say. It has nothing to do with my point. My point is just that she's not the perfect person for the role, and he just says, oh yeah, but she's still pretty good. Okay, that doesn't debunk what I said. I'm pretty sure you could find a red-headed actress who could also play that role just as good, if not better. I think the best person for the role would have been, you know, someone who looks like the character, especially a redhead. They definitely get...
Just right back to the racism. Right back to it. My God, bro.
Like, what? So because I believe that redheads deserve more representation in Hollywood movies, I'm a racist? Dude, you just proved my point. You do call everybody you disagree with racist. Now, does he explain how this is racist? No, of course he doesn't. Less acting roles than black people. And if we want to follow the logic that they don't have to look like the character they're playing, well, then they could have just casted a black man. Could you imagine if they casted Chris Rock?
Blackwashing! You see, black hair is much more curly.
I love that he didn't respond to that point, he just completely ignored it. What's wrong, buddy? Did no one in your chat make a point that you could just blindly agree with? Okay, he plays another long clip from my video and he just says that my joke about blackwashing wasn't funny, even though I'm pretty sure he just doesn't get the joke. I'm just gonna skip it.
Now, I've already made a video about how I feel when it comes to race bending, and how I feel about how diversity is done. In my video, Diversity, the Right and Wrong Ways to Do It. To give a quick rundown for those of you who haven't seen those videos...
Please, because I don't feel like going back. I've already gotten a minute into this. I'm not going back.
Bro, I'm providing more context, but you still refuse to look at it because, well, you want to take me out of context. I provide those videos for people to check out because I'm not going to repeat what I said in past videos, and I'm not going to make every single video 5 hours long.
An actor or actress looks like the character.
Well, dude, maybe you need to make it a lot more clear, because you did racism in your old video. You're doing racism in this video. Like, I think the title of my old video is correct. Just a Racist sounds about right.
Do you guys see where the argument is? Because I sure don't. The point is, buddy, I provided more context and you've refused to look at it.
We'll go a little bit further, but yeah, this is a really fucking bad response. I don't know. I do kind of like when people respond to me because they more or less just prove me right. It's kind of shocking.
Well, you can keep telling yourself that, but it's not an argument. And if anything, I personally think that you prove the people you're criticizing right.
People like it when the character looks how they're supposed to look. But when the conversation moves to being about race, over suit color or hair color, things get a little bit more complicated.
Okay, so I think it's worth noting, you're never ever going to get somebody who's an exact physical duplicate. You're just not.
You can still try to get as close as you can. Hugh Jackman seems like...
Well, maybe you could get, maybe you should shoot for somebody who could do the role and not get concerned about the racial stuff. Like, you're about ready to bring up Hugh Jackman, who, yes, it was physically not much like the Wolverine in the comic book, but he is kind of well-suited for the role.
What are you talking about? He looks a lot like Wolverine from the comics. Yeah, I guess he's not an exact replica of the guy from the comics, but they still got as close as they could. And you bringing up that you should get someone who could do the role, well, wouldn't someone who looks like the character they're playing be a good choice for someone who can do the role? Like, imagine if they did a movie about the life of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and they had him played by, I don't know, Guilford Godfrey. I don't care if he's quote-unquote the best person for the job, he looks nothing like Dwayne. Like he was born to play Wolverine. And Robert Downey Jr. seems like he was born to play Tony Stark.
Whoa. Hugh Jackman, okay, so like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is fucking great. I don't really have any complaints. It's a little bit different than the comic book, but I think he makes it far more interesting. He kind of Doctor Strange it up a little bit. It's cool. I love it. Hugh Jackman, born to play Wolverine? No. He definitely has to make that his own, but he does. He does a great job with it.
Okay, buddy. Who would you cast to play Wolverine? Are you gonna pick someone like Will Smith or something?
It's generally speaking good to go for the person who is the best at performing the role.
Oh, you mean like someone who actually looks like the character they're playing?
No, not somebody who looks... Performing the role and looking the role are two different things.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying you should just get some random person off the street who looks like the character. I'm saying you should pick an already established actor or actress to play the character who looks like the character. I know you keep going on and on about picking the best person for the role, but looking the part is part of that.
Yeah, exactly, Pista. Hugh Jackman's too tall. He looks nothing like Wolverine. He does a great fucking job.
Yeah, I know Wolverine was short in the comics, but you can make the character look shorter just using some CGI. Elijah Wood played Frodo. He just walked on his knees.
He is not making any good points at all.
Then, why can't you debunk any of them?
So, like, when you cast people of different races, isn't that good? Like, getting the best person for the role, I think, would be the thing to go for.
I agree. Line up a bunch of people who look like the character and go from there.
Why is he mixing performance with looks? It is incredibly superficial. Who knows? Maybe he's not actually a racist. Maybe he is just incredibly fucking superficial and only judges things on pure looks.
Okay, it's so weird when these vow streamer-like people do stuff like this. Oh, this person agrees with the paper bag test. One of the most cartoonishly racist things you can do. But I also don't think they're that racist. Like, am I racist or not? I'm just so confused. But yeah, a part of performing the role is looking the role. I said line up a bunch of people who look like the character and then go from there. Like, sure, the actor who played Harry Potter didn't have the right eye color, but I still think he was the best person for the role. Unless, of course, it's voice acting, then use whoever you want.
And you may or may not see them as Asian.
I love that he just ignored this point from me.
The point is, it's far easier for a white person to see these anime characters as white than it is for a black person to see them as black.
Hold your fire! This man...
Okay. True?
Oh, thank you so much for agreeing with me. I hate it when people misunderstand this point, thinking that I'm saying Asians can never relate to anime characters or something like that. Granted, I wish you didn't play nearly a minute from my video just to say, I agree. Like, come on, dude, add a little bit more commentary. Also, screw you.
Yeah, how dare I agree with you? Like, so if I disagree with you, obviously you're going to have, you're going to be upset. But if I agree with you, you're also going to be upset.
The thing is, I'm not upset with you for agreeing with me. I'm upset that you played nearly a minute of my video just to say I agree. Like, that is straight up content theft right there. And I was saying screw you because you cut off one of the best jokes in my video.
So you're just going to be upset no matter what I say. That seems reasonable. Cool.
What a weird straw man you made. This just proves me right somehow. All the points in this video are so bad.
Okay, Maxine Game. Where do you draw the line, though? Like, could you cast a woman to play a male character? Like a cis girl who doesn't try at all to look male playing a male character? It depends on the context. Every context matters. It's all different.
Okay, I'm covering this video point by point. I didn't expect someone in the chat to ask that question. But he gave such a non-answer, just saying, well, what's the context for this question? Like, sure, a woman could play someone like...
Because context is all that matters in that type of situation. Context is everything.
Okay, but how much more context do you need than what they already gave? Like, I'm gonna be real here, it seems like a pretty straightforward question to me. I don't know, Peter Pan. But the person made it clear that they're talking about a woman who doesn't even try to look like a man.
Potentially yes.
Okay, so he said yes. Well, actually, he said potentially yes, which is still a non-answer. But the point is, he's allowed to draw a line at gender, but I can't draw a line at certain races. Dude, are you serious?
Now, the overwhelming majority of people...
Well, my whole point was that it just... Everything is a different context.
And my point is that you don't need that much context. I answered the question myself, but you seem unable to. It's so weird. Like, you tend to take people out of context, but when someone asks you a question, you just need all the context in the world, apparently.
Let's go.
People that I have seen, at least, seem to be in agreement that an original black character is far better than a race-bent one. But considering how studios, especially as of late, do not like to make new IPs, instead...
Well, we'll see what point I have.
They're focused...
Okay, yeah, I feel like that's about the point he's going into. Studios like franchises, they like known names. So, and since a lot of those previously established IP already pretty much have predominantly white characters, yeah, they'll race swap. Yeah, I mean, they will cast alternate people in the roles, and I largely don't care. It doesn't seem like an issue.
Okay, at first I thought he was agreeing with me, until I got to the end. The problem is, most black people I have talked to said they would rather have an original character.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm certain, I mean, honestly, I would argue big issue with modern media is that we actually don't get enough original projects.
Yeah, my problem with you is that you said you don't care, even though many POCs I have spoken with do care. Like, haven't you guys noticed this? He keeps changing what his point is. It's so annoying.
Yeah, Taki's got a good point. Miss Marvel was an original character and it still got attacked. Yeah, Miss Marvel's a great character, too. I love Miss Marvel.
Yeah, the actress who played her did a great job. But whether Miss Marvel got attacked or not, it has nothing to do with the question. As much as he says I do deflection, this is deflection on his part. Like I said, that a lot of POC people would rather have an original character who looks like them. And he just brings up that Miss Marvel was original and she still got attacked. Okay, well that doesn't answer the question.
They will cast alternate people in the roles, and I largely don't care. It doesn't seem like an issue.
Okay, at first I thought he was agreeing with me, until I got to the end.
Oh yeah, so that's his argument. His argument is that black people want more original black characters, which I'm sure they do, but like, goddamn, I hate speaking for black people because obviously I am not black. But if like, I will say lots of black people I've encountered are really excited for a live action Miles Morales.
Okay, good for them. I'm glad you agreed with my argument. You know Miles Morales is a original character, right? He's not just Black Peter Parker, he's his own person. Like, do you not remember my Cleopatra video? I said I'm fine with someone taking up the title of an established hero, and I brought up Green Lantern, Blue Beetle, and Spider-Man as examples. Like, this is something Organized Chaos does a lot. He agrees with someone's point, but he does his best to make it sound like a disagreement. It's so weird.
It's not completely one-sided. Every case is different.
Yeah, I guess every case is different. Most POC people I have spoken to said they would rather have an original character who looks like them. I'm sure there's a few out there who don't agree with that line of thinking, but they're a minority, both figuratively and literally.
I do find in general people want original characters in general, not just necessarily black people, but people prefer original characters because a lot of these franchises are getting long in the tooth. That being said, all that being said, doesn't mean like good stories with already established IP isn't bad, and because all it takes is good stories.
Okay, first of all, I brought up at the start of my Cleopatra video that studios do not like to make original IPs anymore, so that's why they have been race-bending and gender-bending characters. Why are you talking about this like I don't already know it? He's doing it again. He's taking my point that he agrees with, pretending like I didn't make it, and then making it himself. Why do you keep doing this? As for your point about all it takes is good stories, I never said that not making an original IP makes a story good or bad. Why are you talking about this? The problem is, most black people I have talked to said they would rather have an original.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing.
No, you said you don't care. That's what I have an issue with. Original character who looks like them.
So you've talked to black people who want an original character. Fine. I'm sure there are lots that do.
And you don't care about them, and that's what I have a problem with. How do you not get this? This is something else I've noticed Organized Chaos does a lot. He likes to forget the reason as to why you're making an argument. For a guy who keeps saying all context matters, he loves to forget the beginning part of the context a lot. He did the same thing in the last video I responded to. The woman who made Cleopatra said that race was a very modern idea, and I explained to her why it wasn't actually a modern idea. And Organized Chaos thought I was making my argument because I just learned about it.
I've encountered plenty that do as well. My point is that franchises have dominated the Hollywood space for a while.
No, that wasn't your point. That was my point. That was the point I made at the beginning of my Cleopatra video. Your point was that you don't care about it, which is disgusting.
But the way to get black characters into Hollywood spaces with established IP being the dominant media for the most part is recasting.
What? No way! I mean, it's not like I brought that up at the beginning of my Cleopatra video! Instead of what many of them have described as, quote, a hand-me-down character that the whites are already done using.
Okay, not everybody says that, and there are plenty of characters that don't fall into that, like Miles Morales.
And I said in my video that I don't have a problem with Miles Morales because he's taking up the title of an already established character. He's not a race bend. And also, I didn't say they all think like that. I just said that's what many of them have described to me. Like, do I have to use the apple example for you again? If I have many apples, that doesn't mean I have all the apples in the world. You can say that you don't have a problem with this, but many minorities that I have spoken with do have a
I mean, do you have any studies on this specifically? Like, you're just talking to many minorities that you have talked to. And I have talked to minorities that do share that, but I hardly have a study.
Wait, do you actually need a study for something like this? Also, I love that he ignored the part where I explained that he doesn't care. Tell you what, I'll make you a study right now. To every POC watching this video, would you prefer a race-bend character or an original character who looks like you? Tell me in the comment section down below, please.
And I feel awkward talking about, like, their point of view when I'm not one of them, and I'm surprised you don't feel awkward about that as well.
I don't feel awkward because I'm just repeating what I have heard them say. The thing I feel awkward about is you saying that you don't care about their perspective. I don't know how you don't feel awkward about that. No problem with this.
Focused on making remakes, reboots, and other stuff like that.
Oh my god, we just got to the part of my video where I explained big studios are focused on reboots, remakes, and other stuff like that. And he's just gonna turn off his brain and ignore what I say here.
So how will an original black character be made?
They could add a new character in who's black, I guess?
No, of course not. They're gonna take a pre-existing character and change their race. Sometimes they'll make characters with the word black in their name black, like Black Canary in Suicide Squad.
Great, yeah.
Or
Yep, I just proved I already knew this stuff and he just says, yeah,
Oh, nice sound effect, nice.
Thank you.
Black Canaries. Wait, are you talking about Birds of Prey? That's gotta be Birds of Prey, right? Like, I don't think Black Canary was in Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, you're right, I made a mistake on that one. Granted, it's in the same universe, but I still made a mistake. Thanks for correcting me. But my point is that it's kind of cringe that they race bend a character into being black because they have the word black in their name. He of course just ignores that point and continues my video.
Well, I also point out how Birds of Prey is kind of underrated and...
No, your point wasn't about how Birds of Prey was underrated. And even if it was your point, that has nothing to do with my video!
She was a good Black Canary. I don't get, it's just such... I've actually never heard anybody complain about the race swap Black Canary in Birds of Prey, so it threw me off, especially when you say she's from Suicide Squad. That threw me off a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna be real here. I haven't seen Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey. I'm not into the DC live-action movies. The issue I have is that they race bent a character into being black just because they had the word black in their name. Come on, even you have to find that silly.
But it's so weird that you zoned in on that and remembered that, and it's not something that was on my radar whatsoever.
Okay, that's nice and all. So do you find it silly that they took a character with the word black in their name and race bent him into being black? Please, for the love of God, stop dodging the question.
They'll do it to background and side characters who barely have any lines. Or they'll do it to 75% of the main cast like they did in Velma, which was absolutely terrible, by the way. Now, while they did race...
Yeah, nobody liked Velma, and I guess you're complaining about the race swaps. I didn't really see people really, like, their big complaints weren't the race swaps.
Okay, I talked about this more in my...
Yeah, and that's also true, Lucifer. They go after original characters as well. The Chuds do.
Oh my god, he's literally speaking with the devil! He gets his ideas from Lucifer himself! No wonder why this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Psst, organized chaos. Lucifer is not a good person. They're not on your side. They're just trying to make you look like a fool. In all seriousness, though, okay, I guess the Chuds go after original characters as well. This debunks none of what I said. Pay attention to Organized Chaos's face. His eyes keep darting towards the chat so he can just agree with a point they make.
Like, the Chuds will be like, oh, don't race swap a character. Then you do an original character like Miss Marvel or like any of those. And then they complain about that as well. And it's like, fuck.
Huh? Oh, cool, but you're doing a debunk video on me right now. You shouldn't care what those guys' arguments are, you should be focusing on what my arguments are. My video is race bending making people more racist. They're taking something, making it worse, and then race bending the characters, which could make people subconsciously associate terrible things.
Well, wait, one of your examples there was the April O'Neil.
Oh my god, okay. April O'Neil was not originally black. A lot of people thought she was because of her hairstyle, even though that was a very common hairstyle in the 80s, or because she was based off the creator's wife. And she is from Africa. Here's a picture of her. Yeah, she looks pretty white.
Okay, so wait, what were the examples in that thumbnail? That was actually a wild thumbnail. So race bending is me. So your examples are Velma, nobody liked.
Yeah, they took a beloved character and not only race bent them, but made them into a horrible person. And yeah, that could subconsciously make people more racist. You saying that nobody liked Velma actually adds to my argument.
And then April O'Neil, who, it's a different take on April O'Neil. She's a very different character, but like,
yeah, it is a different take on the character. I don't know why you brought that up as if it debunked anything I said, but, good for you. Do you not see the issue with race bending a character black and also making them, you know, fat? Like, do you think that might subconsciously make people associate being overweight with black people?
She kind of has the same motivations, and she was interesting. They did a good job with her.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I don't think making her overweight was doing a good job with her. And I think most people will agree with that take.
Amber is... I don't know if Amber was white in the comic book, and I don't care.
Whoa, dude, you don't care that he took a white character, race bent them into being black, and made them a more horrible person, which could cause people to be more subconsciously racist? Oh my god, you're such a horrible, horrible person! In all seriousness, I know he's just saying he doesn't care because, well, that's kind of his catchphrase. I don't even think he knows what that phrase means.
Like, lots of people were pissed at Amber, and I never understood the anti-Amber hatred. She seemed like a fine character to me.
Well, that's because you're an idiot. There are so many videos on YouTube by me and by lots of other people as to why Amber is a horrible character. It's too off topic for this video, so I'm not going to go into it right now. And I also don't need to make an argument to justify the hatred for Amber, because he didn't make an argument against it.
April was meant to be mixed. Well, she was designed to be mixed race in the original comic book. She was based off of Kevin Eastman's ex-wife, I want to say.
You mean this white woman? Yeah, April O'Neil was based off her. They're taking something, making it worse, and then race bending the characters, which could make people.
How is it? How, like, even like Velma's the only one you may have a point on, and Velma was, to my understanding, bad. I haven't seen it. My understanding, it was bad.
Dude, I already made a whole video about it. If you want to know my arguments, watch that video instead of just judging the thumbnail. Subconsciously associate terrible things with minorities, so it is a problem. And a lot of people did complain about the race bending, making the lazy stoner.
So a lot of people complaining about the race bending, does that mean that a lot of people are right? Because it, and just because a lot of people complain about it doesn't make it good.
I don't give a shit. Your argument was that no one cared about the race bending in Velma, and I disproved that. Also, I was about to explain why people cared about the race bending in the show, and you just cut off my point before I could make it. Shaggy Black was not a smart decision.
And the Scooby-Doo characters, there's...
See what I mean? Making the lazy stoner Shaggy Black was not a smart decision, and he just ignored that point like he always does.
plenty of other versions where they're still white, all of which are better than the Velma show. And of course, I don't have a problem with a character who is non-white taking up the title of another hero, whether it be Spider-Man, Blue Beetle, Green Lantern, or others. Of course.
Cool, okay.
Cool, I'm glad you agree. Yep, once again, see what I mean? He agreed with my argument, and in his follow-up video on me, he pretended like I didn't make this point and it was his point. It's so hard to argue against organized chaos, not because he's so smart, but because he's so dumb. You have to constantly explain to him over and over again what you're actually arguing about.
My favorite race bend of all time will forever be Asian Hulk. Oh, Jerry, we can't make a female Hulk because that already exists, and we can't make them black or Mexican because they'll just come out as green. Don't worry, Tim, I have an idea. We'll make the Hulk Asian. That way, despite him being green, he'll have squinted eyes. I would not be
Wow. Wow. This is... I'm seeing him break my brain in real time. Good fun.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he's responding to someone in the chat. But dude, if you're gonna say I'm breaking your brain in real time, try saying that after I respond to your point. That would be a lot more funny. Also, what you said wasn't an argument, once again.
Having trouble responding, because this is just really blatant. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Blatant with what? Blatant with racism? Blatant with the...
Yes, blatant with racism. Good job.
Oh, okay. How is it racist? Please explain it to me. Just saying it's blatant with racism isn't an argument. Also, am I the one being racist, or is it the studio that made Asian Hulk? Or are we both racist? Like, I'm so confused by this. If you're responding to this video, explain yourself, please. The fact that you agree with me, I don't know what you mean by this. It's just a, wow, yikes, this guy said this argument.
happy with a character like...
Oh, okay, you're just gonna stare at the screen and ignore my point. Why am I not surprised?
Ever doing that for such a major character, but also...
Well, there's a Miles Morales version of Thor, but that's an alternate universe, so it doesn't bother me. But I'm not saying that this has happened before, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, Miles Morales' Thor was dragged for being fucking stereotypical as hell.
Huh? Oh yeah, I guess it was. So are you gonna debunk the argument I made, or acknowledge me explaining my point in more detail at all? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you won't.
If they get a good actor, I don't see what the issue would be either.
Oh, well the issue is that they wouldn't look like the character they are playing.
They made...
Okay, I think my conclusion with this guy is, I think he's racist, but like, not like intentionally racist, just like incredibly fucking superficial.
So I'm unintentionally racist and superficial. Are you going to explain how I'm those things?
Like he has yet to actually like articulate or actually like really go after any of my arguments other than to
Oh, but I've debunked a few of your arguments already, and there's still a lot more of the video to go. You've only seen the start of it so far.
I guess go after my voice and say that I call everyone I disagree with a racist.
Oh yeah, I did make fun of your voice. Once. For only a few seconds. And I did say that you call anyone you disagree with racist, but you've proven that you do that.
Which is not true at all. But hey, I guess you can say that. I mean, everybody else does.
Well, if everybody's saying it, then it's more than likely true.
I probably should have just stopped as soon as he did the paper bag test thing. That was insane. Oh, you know, she's fine as Ariel because she passed the paper bag test. It's like,
Oh cool, that's something I never said. Granted, I'm sure a lot of really racist people would say that, but that wasn't my point.
the fact that you just know what that is and can pull it up, it's insane.
Oh yeah, my roommate Professor Dreadlock told me about it. I thought it would be nice of me if I told even more people about it, so we don't make the same mistakes our ancestors did.
Yeah, going to one-to-one and like when I say I want the best performance for the job, and he says, okay, yeah, the best looking person. It's like, no, that's not what I said. I said the best performance.
Yes, and looking like the character you're playing is a part of the performance. And please stop saying you actually care about the best person for the role. You know you don't actually believe that. Like, people on your side are always saying stuff like affirmative action and all that jazz. Wait, Jar, are you judging him for what people does on his side? Did you hate it when he did that to you? Yeah, I'm just giving him a taste of his own medicine.
I kind of love when people react to me and just prove me right. It's kind of beautiful. It's kind of fucking beautiful.
Well, too bad that has literally never happened. And yep, that's all the video of mine he went over. But he did such a bad job that he decided to go at me again, but with his friends this time. So let's go over that video as well.
Hey guys, I need you to do me a favor. Help me fight the algorithm. Go ahead and hit like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon for new notifications.
No, don't do it for him. Do it for me instead.
You guys familiar with the YouTube channel Just a Robot?
Yeah.
I see that my reputation precedes me.
Yeah, so I did a video about them a while ago. They did a video on what's called blackwashing from pretty much chuds. You know.
Is a chud like the right-wing equivalent of an SJW? But yeah, I did a video on blackwashing, and I show that it's a real thing that we should be concerned about.
Where he threw a fit over Black Cleopatra in the Netflix docudrama series that nobody liked and nobody cared about.
My god, he's still going on about no one caring when people did care. First of all, I cared, a lot of other YouTubers cared about it, and the entire country of Egypt cared about it. I am just so annoyed with him saying he doesn't care or no one cares without actually knowing what that means.
Wasn't she Egyptian or something? What was Cleopatra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was something like
Egyptian.
that.
Wow, I'm so glad that these people are intelligent enough to know that Queen Cleopatra is Egyptian. Maybe they'll tell us that George Washington was an American next.
I mean, maybe not like black, but like, you know, not going to be white, right?
Well, you can make the argument that she was white if you go off of paintings and statues of her, but we don't know for sure 100% what her racial makeup was. But the point of my video wasn't to prove that she was white, it was to prove that she wasn't that black.
Like,
yeah, true. And also, I don't know, I don't care. It's a docudrama, you know.
No one cared about it.
Oh my god, his friends are exactly the same as him. Guys, the entire country of Egypt sued Netflix over it. People cared. You all three are talking about it right this second. You guys care as well.
I mean, when you go to like history and stuff like that, you're not typically gonna find somebody who's the exact descendant of the exact purity of what you need.
Yeah, I guess not, but I don't think we should have someone like John Wayne play Genghis Khan. At least get an Asian guy or something, Jesus Christ. Like, if they had a Mawindu movie and they had a black guy play him, I think that would be fine. I don't think they need someone who's a descendant of the exact African nation that the story of Mawindu was from.
For the casting.
It's weird how, when it comes to the historical stuff, they do like to act like this is the final and definitive record of history.
Yeah.
And if you fuck this up, then that's fucked forever. You know, that's how they kind of treat it whenever there's like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of me acting like that at all throughout my entire Queen Cleopatra video? While I do think it's possible that something like that could happen, it's not very likely. But just look at Jesus. There are so many people who think he's white or black, when in reality, he was Middle Eastern.
Yeah, it gets really confusing. And pretty much my video response was just called Just a Racist, because his takes were... kind of racist. I don't remember exactly.
If I did a video on someone accusing them of racism, I would 100% remember the racist things they said in their video. This proves it. Organized Chaos doesn't actually think I'm racist. He was just calling me that because he's bad faith.
The reason why I like to look at reactions to my stuff is, or even our stuff, is frequently they will kind of expose themselves even more. And I just find that entertaining and fun.
Looking at the likes to dislikes underneath this video, I don't think I've exposed myself even more or anything like that. Like, I know you think you're right, but most people don't seem to be in agreement with you. Now, of course, just because most people don't agree with you doesn't mean you're wrong or anything like that. However, it does prove that you don't do a good job explaining your case.
But maybe he will have some well thought out arguments. Now I'll just have to quit doing this stuff. And
I bet he does. I bet there's some really good shit.
Oh no, it's not really that good. I just kind of threw that video together in one day. But Organized Chaos, I absolutely do not want you to quit YouTube. I want you to keep at it and keep improving at your craft. You can do it, man. I believe in you. Also, I and a lot of other people love laughing at your content. Next week, luckily, I came across another video accusing me of racism. They covered my video, Let's Talk About Netflix's Cleopatra, and blackwashing. The guy's name is Organized Chaos. I don't know what it is with people with the word chaos in their names and constantly going after me. Let's just hope he doesn't Photoshop me grooming a 13-year-old. Anyways, let's get on with the video. The first thing I noticed about this video is that it has...
Yeah, so that's the thing I came across. And it's, yeah, like... But before I just want let me tell you this thing real quick, please. I had a guy who was he was a channel member of mine for quite a while. He was one of my first channel members. His channel name is, he's got his own channel called Leo Convoy Reviews. Right?
Oh yeah, that guy is in so much drama right now. Okay, so I'm going to be skipping this part of the video because they go on and on about Leo Convoy, the Art CC, me getting accused, and other things like that. There's no arguments they're really making against me, so there's nothing for me to debunk here, so let's continue on with this video. Has been absolutely ratioed. It has more than 4 times as many dislikes as likes. Like, I haven't...
So I actually went over this on my channel. So it shows the ratio add-on is definitely off, because while that video has been ratioed, because all my shit gets ratioed anymore, my Godzilla -1 video got fucking ratioed, because these guys just can't handle like me talking about anything anymore.
I think people just really hate you, dude. There are other left-leaning channels around your size, and they don't nearly get as much hate as you.
Well, and then what that did was YouTube took money from you, right?
Yes.
That's what happens when you get
took
ratioed?
less money. Well, actually, it kind of went the opposite way, because it pushed it a bit higher, and it got more clicks because of that.
Don't say that.
YouTube just like,
let them keep thinking that they're doing something that matters.
Yes, guys, algorithmically helping me is painful. Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, I hate this misconception. Okay, so yes, dislikes do count as engagement, and in a way they do help the video. But I've been ratioed once before, and my video stopped growing after a while, because people click on the video, see all those dislikes, and think, ooh, this must be a bad video, I'm probably not gonna watch it. And watch time is incredibly important to the YouTube algorithm. If dislikes help a video half as much as these guys are implying, then Mini Lad would be bigger than PewDiePie. lie.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
way off.
stop
Holy
taking
shit.
so much stock in those add-ons. They don't mean anything.
Once again, there's nothing else I can use aside from a YouTube browser extension. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Hack into your YouTube channel to get the correct ratio or something?
Please stop it.
Don't downvote this video, in fact. Please.
Yeah. But
No.
yeah, no. The actual downvote ratio is 2-to-1, not 5-to-1, as his add-on is telling him.
Oh, no. Just because it doesn't get the exact number doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. It told me your video was ratioed, and your video was ratioed. Once again, it would be nice if you gave me suggestions on what else I could use.
I think his second channel that this is on has like 100,000. I think
Okay.
his main channel is.
I think it's 200
is
something
200?
actually.
Yeah.
So when you have 25, 26,000 subscribers, he's got that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of logical that, of course, some people are going to get pissy and want to come downvote your video whenever you criticize their guy.
Oh, well, I guess, but a lot of people have made videos on me, and most of them don't get ratioed that bad. Organized Chaos just regularly gets ratioed, whether it's about a person or not. I Hate Everything did a video on PewDiePie, and yeah, he got a couple thousand dislikes, but he was by no means ratioed.
It doesn't prove anything. I don't understand how they think it does prove anything. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It proves that Organized Chaos is really hated. I mean, I haven't even gotten to his video about me yet. But, right after I made this point, I said that just because a video has a lot of dislikes, it doesn't mean it's bad. And I bet when they play that clip, they're just going to ignore it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's exactly right. His main channel is 212,000, and his secondary channel this is on is 100,000. And yeah, I would argue ratios only might mean something if it's a smaller creator ratioing a bigger creator.
Oh, well, of course you would argue that. You're an idiot. Like, I'm not saying ratios are the be-all or end-all, but if a video gets ratioed, it's probably not going to be a good video. This video yet. Now, just because a video has a lot of dislikes, it doesn't mean it's automatically terrible. So, you know what? Let's give it a chance.
I mean, it is noteworthy he brings it up without, like, actually going into the points or anything. Just, hey, let's front load this. I get it.
Oh, they did ignore what I said afterwards. Wow, I'm actually quite surprised. But I'm gonna be real here, I completely don't understand the point Organized Chaos is trying to make. Like, I'm so confused.
John Wayne playing Genghis Khan was bad. I can say those things, and no one will call me a racist for it. Unless they're doing it jokingly. But if I have an issue with a black...
Ooh, well, what if I throw a curveball at you and tell you, on its surface, let me go ahead and blow your mind here right now. In a vacuum, race swapping any characters, I don't care.
Okay, I know my voice can be grating to some people, but this dude sounds like a gay stereotype. It's just
Going after my voice.
Did you know you have a bad YouTube voice?
Yeah, I have.
Have you heard that one before?
No, but I think it's interesting. He's not even going to address my point. He just, bad YouTube voice. Don't actually listen to what he says because
I like, honestly, it is
no, I'm about to address your point. You just cut me off before I could make it. And when did I ever tell people that they shouldn't listen to you because you have a goofy voice? Dude, my voice is also pretty grating to a lot of people. Why would I ever say something like that? I love that they can call me racist and all these other things, but making fun of someone's voice, that's going too far.
I think that it is a hallmark of, like like whenever we've done like our critical drinker video, we did not go after, I don't think any of us really do that.
But, you're doing it right now. You're accusing me of being racist. And you guys have also accused Critical Drinker of being a bigot. I'm so confused here. I know a lot of people who don't like the voice that Critical Drinker does. And yeah, maybe their content isn't for them. But I think you guys are looking a little too deeply into me saying that this dude sounds like a gay stereotype. Like, way too deeply.
Right? Like I have in the past. I've been more inclined to do it just to kind of be a little shit stirrer that I've liked to be sometimes. But like generally, if I'm going to make a legit reaction to somebody's content and like criticize stuff that they've said, I'm going to just focus on the stuff that they've said.
Oh, well, we both know that's a lie. No, I haven't seen this guy's content, but I'm pretty sure he loves twisting what people say so he can make them look like a bigot.
And I feel like doing
Yeah.
anything else besides that is kind of just, and including the times that I've done it in the past.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like overcompensating out of like, not being super competent in what I'm in the points, right?
No, not right, wrong. I don't even know what you were saying. No, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think the guy just admitted that he's insulted people for aspects of their character in the past. In my video that's 1 hour long, I made a joke about organized chaos sounding like a gay stereotype one time. And after that, I pretty much just talked about his points, and that's it. Personally, I would rather have someone make fun of the way I talk once than call me racist in multiple different videos.
Yeah. Especially also when it comes before the actual counter.
Right.
You've just
Yeah.
shown a clip of something, and rather than addressing what has just been said and why you disagree with it, you start off with a diss.
Huh, well, Organized Chaos made an accusation towards me in his title. Just play the video a little bit longer, I'm about to get to his point. Stop freaking out about this one little insult. Jesus Christ, you guys are sensitive.
And then I don't know where he goes, but like he's probably gonna address like what you said. But he's almost laying the foundation first,
Yeah, the foundation that my voice is a little grating and this dude sounds like a gay stereotype. This is a voice people are gonna hear throughout the entire video, so I want people to get ready for it.
So far, he's like you said, poisoned the well, front-loaded it with
Oh, so apparently saying someone sounds like a gay stereotype means you're poisoning the well, but calling someone racist in your title is not poisoning the well. Ah, I see. Come on, I'm going up against Organized Chaos. I don't need to poison the well with someone like him.
Oh, everybody hated this video. It's such a bad video. And also, listen to his voice.
I love how he completely changed the wording of my points. Just so catty.
Gay.
Now I want to make this clear. He's not skipping the first 6 minutes of my video. This is just a snippet of...
Can we rewind that just like, because him saying just, like, was he doing an impression of you, or is that how he sounds? Because, I mean, he doesn't have any room to talk. Really doesn't. Like...
No.
Oh my god, you guys, you're not getting into my video. You're just making fun of my voice throughout the entire thing. I'm gonna complain about this for the next 10 minutes. Guys, did you not hear me say that some people find my voice grating as well? Do a lot of people find my voice grating? Yes. Do a lot of people think this guy sounds like a gay stereotype? Yes! So I think I have room to talk. I'm not joking here. They go on and on about my voice. Guys, I said my voice is grating to a lot of people. Like, how did all three of you miss that part?
In his video either,
if I'm being honest, both of you
I don't
sound
see
like
why
a couple of nerds on the internet.
Is it because my voice can be grating to some people and he sounds like a gay stereotype? Well, I guess you're right. It's almost like that's basically the exact same point I made or something. They're still going on about this. I'm just gonna skip ahead to where they're talking about my video. And by the way, we're already a quarter of the way done with their video. This is just a snippet of his video, a preview of what's to come. But it's kind of weird that he opens his video with a clip saying he doesn't care. Dude, you're making a video about it, of course you care. And caring is not a...
Well,
You said you don't care about race swapping.
very much. Yeah.
You also laid the argument you said in a vacuum. It's a pretty...
Yes.
Well, we're not talking about things in a vacuum, we're talking about things from history, which is very important. And if he says he doesn't care about race swapping, well, he's talking about my video, which is about race swapping, so I think he cares about race swapping? Like, if I did a video on a communist and I said I don't care about economics, and all my arguments were about economics, I think I would care.
That when someone says in a vacuum, I don't care about this, that leads... one would assume to another part of the argument,
No, I don't know. And we're not talking about things in a vacuum. What do you guys even mean by that?
Yeah.
It's like, that's not just something a person says by itself, in a vacuum, as you would say, You don't just say, in a vacuum, I believe this, then there's something after that as well.
As we all know, we live in a vacuum, so I don't even know why we say we in a vacuum, because, we just live in a vacuum, right?
Exactly.
I didn't expect him to say that, but it was funnier when I did it. But here's the thing about Organized Chaos. He says he doesn't care about things all the time, and his points are very hard to understand. I don't even know what he means by in a vacuum. And after he made this point, he doesn't clarify what he means. And once again, we're not talking about things in a vacuum. We're talking about history. Like, I'm not gonna bash on someone
someone because they made a race bend of, I don't know, Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory for their fan art or anything like that. Problem, a lot of people care about a lot of things. I swear this is giving me flashbacks to T-Moss Boss. Remember when I used to talk about that guy all the time?
Removing all societal context. I don't care. Get the best person for the job.
So, and then there we go, another unrelated little dig, because of what he's doing there is like, remember that fucking other guy that we all laughed at that one time that sucks?
Yep.
Doesn't this guy remind you of that guy, you know?
Yeah, Organized Chaos does kind of remind me of T-Moss Boss. He says he doesn't care about things that he's currently talking about and making videos on. It's so weird.
Awesome. Cool. The problem is, throughout all of history, there has been a massive amount of white people playing characters of color.
All of history? Really, dude? All of history? I think you just mean in the last 100 years. I don't think the Romans were exactly having white actors play African gods or anything like that.
Okay, so while no, they were probably not all of history, but a lot of history.
Oh, well then he should have said a lot of history then. Did you not hear the part where I said I think you mean in the last 100 years? Basically what I said was, oh, I don't think you meant throughout all of history, I think you just meant in the last 100 years.
Yeah, because you didn't say films, you didn't say cinema, you know? Like,
well, I mean, we can also go back to how, like, you know, if we go back ancient plays with not even ancient, but like just plays where white men would pretty much play all the roles.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's gender bending, not race bending.
This is kind of a standard thing. Now,
Men,
obviously,
men would also play the women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, obviously, when I make a broad point like that, I mean the history of the medium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people were doing blackface back in the day, which is why I said afterwards, I think you mean in the last 100 years.
It's and he knows that. He's just being purposefully
obtuse and nitpicky over your words.
Exactly.
It's kind of like looking into a mirror for you guys, isn't it? Don't forget in Organized Chaos's first video on me, when I brought up Black Cinderella, he thought my argument was that movies existed. Or when I said that racism is an awful thing that will always be part of human nature, he thought I believed that we shouldn't fight against it. Like, what?
Just to make it seem like you're not making an actual point.
Because once again, you're literally doing this like in a live stream off the top of your head, and he's probably like taking time to listen to it and just, you know, think about it.
And that's the best he could come up with.
Yeah.
That's his best argument.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing this live, and I do have a bit of an unfair advantage. But I think it's better to understand what your opponent's point is before you respond to it. I'm not taking that much time with this, I'm pretty much making it in one day. But I love how he said, this is the best he could come up with. Dude, you just started the video. This is by no means my best point. Like, all I did was say that Organized Chaos probably meant this, and he's freaking out about it. Like, we haven't even gotten to my points in this video yet. They're just going on and on about the smallest of things.
The most recent example I can think of would be the ancient one in Doctor Strange. Don't want to slight Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton's a fantastic actress. She's white. Ancient one's not white.
Oh yeah, I complained about that one too. They got both his race and his gender wrong. The reason for this was probably because, well, there's not a lot of Asian actors in America because there's not a lot of Asian people in America in general. So
what
they
the
had to go.
fuck?
Oh, yeah,
What the actual fuck did this fucking
what?
idiot just say? I'm sorry, man. That is the dumbest shit. Oh my god.
Haven't you ever noticed that these guys always go, oh my god, this is the dumbest point I've ever heard in my life? But, I'm just making a guess here. This is not a point I've actually made against Organized Chaos. All I said was, yeah, I complained about that one too. But, let's continue playing this video. Maybe they made a good point.
Yeah. So, fun fact, it was because the ancient one is Tibetan. It's something that Kevin Feige has expressed regret to this day that he did that. But I mean, Tilda Swinton is a great actress. I don't want to
look,
slide
guys. We're just fresh out of Asian actors in America today.
Yeah,
we
we're
can't
out of
find
Asian
anybody.
actors in America.
Oh, well, I didn't say they were out of Asian actors, just that there's not a lot of them. Like, sure, it's easy to find an Asian guy in America who can play a background character. High-end actors have contracts, and there's not a lot of Asian actors. I would like it if there were more Asian actors. We could really use a few more of them. By the way, I love how they complained for several minutes because I said organized chaos probably meant not all of history, just in the last couple hundred years. But it's a-okay for them to say that I believe there's no Asians in America. But I decided to do some research into this, and around the time Doctor Strange came out, there were very few Asian actors in America. Yeah, it was a pretty big left-leaning talking point that Hollywood was trying to erase Asians, and I'm surprised that these guys didn't know about that. I guess they're just not as progressive as me.
He's full on just waffling. Yeah, and this is scripted content.
Actually, it's not scripted content. I rarely use a script, mainly because I'm super dyslexic.
And this is the best he can come up with. It's actually because there are not a lot of Asians in America.
Yeah, there isn't. There's only about 6% of them. And this wasn't a point against organized chaos, this was just a guess on my end. Well, as I said before, it really hasn't happened throughout history, just in the last 100 to 150 years. And
100 to 150 years. So real quick,
that's not history.
That's the history of film.
I know, so 100 years, that's not history.
Wait, what? 100 years is not history? Well, I don't think it's all of history. I've never said nor implied that. 100 years of history is 100 years of history. Like, I don't even know what this guy is saying. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to understand him or something.
There's 2 points to this, right? It's like, obviously, he's just purposely ignoring the argument that's being made up.
I said firstly, I was about to get to his argument. Please stop cutting me off.
But even then, if we go off of his point, if we go further back, this has still been a thing throughout history. Obviously not with screens and TV, but with plays and stuff.
Well, I wasn't exactly talking about just a history when TVs were a thing. I said that the Romans weren't exactly putting on plays where white people played African gods or anything like that.
Back in the day, it was white men who played every role. Those are the women roles.
Oh yeah, that did happen in history. But I think that's gender bending, not race bending.
Did a quick Google here. So let's see. The Asian American population is about 6.2% of the population.
Yeah, I guess it is.
So there's 6.2 Asians in America.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
okay.
What? I actually think I believe there's only 6.2 Asians in America? That's obviously not what I meant. I'm gonna complain about this for the next 5 minutes.
And it's not even just the actor part, it's also just there just aren't that many Asians in America.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, there's 6% of the human population. That's not a lot. Hello everyone, Editing Jar here. I made a big mistake. I meant to say they're 6% of the American population. Going off of the human population, yeah, they're the majority.
I mean, look, there's not. Comparatively, there's not. But that's kind of like, that's the, and I want to be clear here that whenever, I say something is racist, I'm not going to call this guy racist.
Aw, well, shucks. Well, I'm not going to call you racist either, buddy.
Right? I try not to do that anymore. Just because I don't want to fucking end up in a situation where I'm like having to prove that this person is racist because I don't fucking know what's in his heart.
It's only darkness.
But I know when language is expressing bigoted or racist or ideas that contribute to culture of or systemic issues of racism and stuff, that's much more easy to prove. And like when you're just basically downplaying that we even have that many Asians at all.
Oh, well, we don't have that many Asians, and we really don't have that many Asian actors. It would be nice if we had a few more of them.
Because there's like 6.2% of the population is it's not really any compared to all the white folks, but I mean, you're doing the racist thing. You're contributing to it by...
Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm contributing to systemic racism because I say there's not a lot of Asian people in America because there isn't.
Dismissing them because there's not that many of them.
Wait, how am I dismissing them?
I also just want to say, when we're saying, like, obviously there's not as many as some other demographics in America.
Yeah, there's more white people, black people, Latino people, and so on.
But 6% of 330 million people is still, like, a lot.
Yeah, but what percentage of those people are actors? And what percentage of those actors are male? And what percentage of those male actors are old enough to play the Ancient One? Like, if it was up to me, I would have casted the guy who played Mr. Miyagi, Pat. Let me look into this guy, and oh no, he's dead! Like, maybe I'm ignorant on this, but if the Ancient One was originally Tibetan, couldn't they just change him to Chinese and have a Chinese guy play him? Like, why did it have to be a white woman? How did they get both the race and the gender wrong?
Somewhere, like, 20 million.
Yeah.
It's... That's still a lot of people.
I guess 20 million is a lot of people, but a lot of those people aren't actors. Asian people are extremely unrepresented in Hollywood, and we really could use a few more Asian actors.
No, just to be clear, what I just said was that what he did was like that's not racist what he said, but it is like it is an attitude of dismissal that can contribute to, the ongoing dismissal and down, downplaying of the importance of or the existence even of Asian Americans. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that made no sense.
That's calling you racist and you disagree with that, and this is the best you can come up with to defend your case, then perhaps you deserve to be called racist, because this is pathetic.
Because I also complained about the Ancient One being whitewashed. Like, I really love how he said, "This is pathetic" at the end. Like, dude, I wasn't responding to an allegation of me being racist right there. And dude, for the love of God, stop saying that this is the best I can come up with. You just started my video. I have other points, and I don't think I deserve to be called racist for saying there's not a lot of Asians in America.
I don't think he's put effort into his content in who knows how long, right? Like, I think he just kind of like, oh, somebody said something about me, time to fire up the recorder and say some stuff. The first thing that pops into my head whenever I'm listening to their fucking video. Oh, he's got a funny voice. Your voice sucks.
Oh yeah, dude, this is the old channel. I don't put effort into these videos.
Don't worry, we got good arguments coming up, guys.
Okay.
Oh no.
But now it just happens to be happening a bit the other way. All of a sudden you're triggered.
I wouldn't say I'm triggered, I'm just complaining about an issue I've been noticing. And ever since I started making YouTube videos, it has been going both ways. And I get called racist because people like you call anyone who disagrees with them racist.
That one's original. I've not heard that.
Yeah,
one
that's
before.
just the man. Chud YouTubers, stop using the same exact fucking bullshit talking points. Challenge still incomplete.
Okay guys, I'm gonna be real here. I wanted to go over both of these videos, but at this point, I'm exhausted. They're just making the exact same points he made in his live stream I already covered. It's just that there's 3 people instead of just 1. Like, I really wish I saw the second video first, but I'm not gonna go over the exact same points I already went over a second time. Like, why couldn't you guys just have continued where Organized Chaos left off? If they're not going to respond to my full video, why should I give them that courtesy? Like, they're not even arguing with my points. They're complaining about me saying Organized Chaos sounds like a gay stereotype for a quarter of it. If Organized Chaos or one of his friends wants to respond to this video, then they're more than welcome to. But I'm not going to respond back because at that point, it's going to be too many layers of responses. It's just so weird that he's doing this. Oh, I'm going to get my friends together with me so we can all respond to the exact same points that I already went over. Personally, I'm not having fun going over the exact same stuff I already went over, and I don't think you guys are having fun watching me do it. Anyways, I'm going to be taking a break uploading on this channel so I can focus on my main channel. Also, the content is going to slow down because doing YouTube full-time just ain't working out for me. I want to get back into the workforce. I'm already way too old to be terminally online. Anyways, on my main channel I finally finished my video on Hopeless Peaches. I hope you guys go check it out.